Welcome back to the CyberRisk TV live stream from the expo floor at InfoSec World 2024. We're excited to be here celebrating the 30th anniversary of InfoSec World. I'm your host, Dr. Dustin Sachs, and today I'm joined by Chris Ancharski, who is the head of national engagement and recruitment at CyberRisk Collaborative. And today we're talking about some highlights from day one and what we're looking forward to on day two of InfoSec World 2024. Chris, thanks for being here.
It's great to be here, Dustin.
So let's start off by kind of giving a little bit of a recap yesterday. You know, I know the big thing that we had yesterday was we had our first ever CISO track. We mentioned it a couple times yesterday. Tell us a little bit about what we kind of learned from that track and what the experience was and what we've heard from maybe some of the attendees.
Thanks, Dustin. It was an amazing inaugural CISO track. We got to work in collaboration very closely with the CRC community, the CISOs that are very passionate about bringing the industry along. We had a full day of workshops and boardrooms that were built with, by, and for all the members of the CRC community. We covered topics up and down the board, from regulatory and compliance issues, cloud, critical infrastructure, even CISO resilience. And it was, it was an amazing experience led by industry titans like Larry Whiteside, Diana Kelly, Mel Reyes, Chris Rides, John Woods, Corey Simpson, even our very own Dr. Dustin Sachs.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was definitely, I was the least qualified, I think, on the entire panels. But yeah, it was great. It was a great day. We learned a lot. We got to have very intimate conversations, so it was great. What else did you take away from day one of the conference?
It's the relationship building, the energy and excitement in this room. You can't see it behind the scenes,
Yeah.
but all around us, it's just buzzing with energy, excitement, and those passionate about learning, not only from the thought leaders, but the technology partners and their peers. They're coming to really come and share that peer-to-peer dialogue, reconnect and meet new people to broaden their network and create collaborative support mechanisms to further advance our industry and their careers.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we move into day two, I mean, we started off this morning, we heard a fantastic keynote from Bob West and Shannon Robery. Shannon's going to be joining us a little bit later. And for those of you who don't know, Shannon is a Olympic medalist, actually, from the Olympic runner.
I mean, those thought leadership sessions based on inspiration and leadership are so valuable. It's not always about the technology at these conferences. It's about the, as Olivia Rose was talking about, the audacity.
Yeah.
Avoiding that imposter syndrome, being authentic for yourself and in your career. So, everyone's learning everything from new education to further advance, their role in their careers, but also how to be the best leader and inspire those around us so we can continue to protect our country as a whole.
Absolutely. So what are you looking forward to most today?
All of the main stage sessions, and I'm also looking forward to getting to know all the technology partners here. We've got an amazing roster of both returning and new partners. Love to stop by each one of them and see how they're impacting not only CISOs, but everyone within the industry. And it's also, hey, we're already getting to work with next year's CISO track. We've got an incredible group of leaders that have been sharing so many ideas. It's going to be bigger and badder than ever next year, and we're going to have a great time.
Absolutely. So let's move to your role as head of national engagement, recruitment, all of that. One of the big things, obviously, as we start to get to the back half of this conference is I know there are a lot of people who are going to start thinking about how do I take the InfoSec World experience and turn it into a full year. What are some of the ways that CRC, the CyberRisk Collaborative, is looking to, take this year and make it, or this conference, and make it a full year experience?
Dustin, it's no secret. The role of a CISO is not an easy or fun position, and having a trusted, safe environment to collaborate with peers, share ideas, not only at events like this, but 365 days a year, is critical for keeping our industry thriving and moving along. By being a part of the CRC community, you have that instant access not only to your peers, but an entire alliance of resources that we provide to our members on a variety of bases. So we lead with a digital-first environment offering 365-day access to everyone throughout the ecosystem, over 1,400 members nationwide, who gathered both regionally and digitally on a weekly basis to tackle the most complex problems from technology to leadership.
So you've had a long history of working in communities and community building. Tell us a little bit, why is the CRC, why is the CyberRisk Collaborative different from those other communities?
I think it comes down to the trust we have in the empowerment we place in the members. It's one thing to run a community and have someone like us, making those decisions. But when we place that control in the hands of our members, it really creates something special. We learn exactly what makes their lives a lot easier as a CISO and a developing leader as well. And one of the biggest differentiators outside of all of the opportunities, both in person, digitally, and at events like this, is that ability to create everything with, by, and for each other to further advance their careers.
So, you've now been, you spent the day yesterday, you spent part of this morning certainly interacting with members. What are some of the topics that you're hearing them talk about that are really exciting to you?
AI is buzzing everywhere, as it has been at just about all the conferences, but it goes back to the leadership skills. That's what I'm hearing most, and all of the excitement about it. How can I really inspire and guide my teams and communicate communicate to the business and the board up and down in a language that they can really understand and get behind, so that they can do their job in the most efficient way possible. But there's such a variety of topics being talked about. The networking is the biggest one that I'm noticing. I'm seeing so many side conversations that are really going to continue into the future, and everything that we're discussing today is going to tie into our upcoming task forces and working groups, digital content, new resources for the membership, and organic conversations, which is obviously my favorite because it's that personal approach. Every CISO has a different story, a different background, as well as a different goal for their career. And by understanding each one of those and really catering, our services, which are so diverse to them, we can really not only impact the industry, but their lives as a whole.
So, as we start to get to the back half of the conference and the people start thinking about, next year, October, week of Halloween, being back here, Disney Coronado Springs, for next year's 31st anniversary of InfoSec World. You've been to a lot of conferences, and what do you find to be the kind of the thing that sets this one apart from, as people are thinking about their budgets for next year, as they're starting to do the budgeting process for 2025? Why should this one be the conference that they have on their list?
This is it's no secret, this is one of the largest conferences in the industry, but the difference between this and some of the other ones is it still carries that intimate feeling. And we're all under one roof, collaborating. It's not just about the day, but continuing it into the evening, making new friends, forming new relationships. You never know who you're going to meet, and it's an excellent way. I know we're all friends on LinkedIn and everything, but to have that first handshake or a hug in person is just, you can't measure that.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. There have been people that I know I've met here last year, this year, that are people I've talked with on LinkedIn, had long conversations with, collaborated with, and never met them in person until I came to InfoSec World last year, and again this year. I mean, even coworkers. I mean, we've known each other for like 3 years now, and this is the first time we've met in person, which is just an amazing experience to get at conferences like this. So, as we're kind of winding down our interview, tell us a little bit about how people can find out more about the CyberRisk Collaborative, more about what you're doing. How can they find you if they want to talk with you if they're not here? And if they're not here this year, why should they be here next year?
It's easy to sign up. We've got a membership application on the CyberRisk Collaborative website. You can always find myself on LinkedIn, but also reach out to our incredible engagement team, Melissa Warford and Purvik Shah, who are ready to really engage and learn how we can impact your career as a CISO. And we're going to continue to work with our community to cultivate even more incredible collaborative content for next year. The one thing I loved about the CISO track yesterday was it was all two-way communication. It was collaborative dialogue, not an expert, really sharing their perspective, but it was a diverse group of perspectives that was really impacting everyone. And we're looking forward to building on that for next year and continuing to impact the careers of CISOs all around the nation.
And did you call out Melissa and Perfect because they're standing right outside of here
They might
hearing
be
on the headphones?
In addition to being wonderful human beings and a great support system for CISOs.
They are fantastic, but I just wondered if you were, driven by the fact that they're standing right outside of the studio.
That might have a little
listening
bit to do with it.
So, well, thank you, Chris, for joining us today. This was really great. Thank you for tuning in for this live interview from InfoSec World 2024. We've got a whole day's full of these interviews with many of the speakers that we've had today. To find all of the CyberRisk TV coverage of this year's event, visit securityweekly.com/ISW. Thank you so much, Chris, for being here. Enjoy the rest of the conference for those of you who are listening while you're at the conference, and for those of you who are not here this year, definitely sign up. Now's the time to be ready to sign up for next year. Thanks so much, and thanks, Chris, again for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Dustin.